The only playoff experience is getting out in the first round. Like, sorry. Until Giannis.
Let's see if
otherwise.
it goes live on Facebook and YouTube at the same. Oh, it is awesome. I was worried about that. All right, and how do you go live with people on this?
With people?
Yeah.
They have, on like Insta?
Yeah.
They have to ask to join you, and then you accept them. Otherwise, you'd just be pulling people out.
Well, if you get something,
I'm not joining your live, dog. I'm right here.
I just got something, yes. You invited me to watch.
Yeah, well, I don't know how to work Instagram Live that well.
So now I can go on it. And then if, as a viewer, I can click, it pops up right away, like request to join or something like that. I click that, and then you can let me join.
That makes sense.
But until that, I'm just watching.
You guys ready
I
to
have
start?
shit now, but obviously not going to.
All right.
To hold that baby in.
As you can tell, Antonio's very prepared tonight.
What?
I said, as you can tell, Antonio's very prepared tonight. He's all ready to go.
We're prepared in the chat. Not that we have to be prepared at all.
All right. So you guys ready to start?
Oh,
I don't gotta do an intro. This is beautiful.
Yes or no? No?
I never wrote down how many games each series would go.
The podcast audio is starting in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Highly Opinionated. This is my podcast where we talk about basketball and really anything that I want to talk about that's relevant going on right now. Tonight, we're going to talk about Magic and the Lakers, Jim Boylan and his extension with the Bulls, Dirk and Wade's final games, NBA first-round predictions, the Cubs' struggles, and, of course, Antonio's locker room talk. We have my friend Jake Larson guest starring. He's going to talk about the Cubs tonight.
Yes, I will.
And then we have just Antonio and Chad just here, as they always are. All right, now first
Always, we're here one out of one times. We're always here.
Well, you live here, so technically you're always here, all right?
Don't give away my location.
He lives at apartment 114,
Oh,
1315 West Lincoln
yeah.
Highway.
Wow. All right. Continue.
All right, so this week we were all shocked with Magic Johnson leaving the Lakers. There was a video of him being interviewed, and he just flat out said that he's resigning. Has not talked to Jeannie Buss, did not talk to LeBron James. Nobody knew, not even GM Rob Pelinka. What are your guys' thoughts on Magic's resignation video?
First off, I thought it was hilarious that he just said, "Yeah, I'm done. Like, I give up."
Well, I'm not going to be here next year. Oh.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just seemed very unprofessional to just quit like that. Like, I understand, like, he either got other issues to do or whatever his reasoning is. Like, I don't know. I just think it's very unprofessional. Just out of nowhere, just say, "Yeah, I'm done. Good luck."
I think
run it.
I think Magic's like too nice of a guy, like too good of a guy. Because I was reading about how Jeannie Buss saying that she gave him the option to fire Luke Walton before he left, and he just, I don't know if that's one of the things that like was a deciding factor of him just like not being able to do it. Because Magic, he even said that after like when he was resigning, he was saying with the Ben Simmons stuff that he didn't want to be looked at as a bad guy. So I just don't think that he was like like tough enough to be able to be in a position of charge.
It's just, I guess, not for him. Like, sometimes you got to be mean and like fire people when they clearly need to be fired, and he didn't really want to do that. So
yeah, I just think like Magic just wants to have fun. Like he already was a professional basketball player. He spent all those years in the grind of the season, and he's the guy that like he has multiple companies. He likes talking to players from other franchises and stuff like that. Like he got in trouble for talking to Ben Simmons. And, like, he just wants to be the guy that helped the young guys or talk with other players. Like, he wants to have fun. He wants to be free. And I think it's a good decision for him and the Lakers. I don't think he went about it the best way. I mean, announcing you're resigning in like a casual like interview. Like that's a bad look, and it kind of adds to the dysfunction of the Lakers that we've seen over the past year. But at the end of the day, I think it's best for both parties.
Magic sucked, to be honest with you. He was fucking terrible.
I mean, you got.
Oh, he did. Very good. Let's get LeBron.
And that's it.
But
that's literally it.
It wasn't like him that got it. LeBron was good.
No,
but LeBron still could have gone to the Clippers.
But I'm saying,
he wanted to go
if you want to be that guy, he could put that on his resume.
LeBron wants to go to such a historic franchise. Why the fuck would someone like LeBron want to go there? Like that guy, he's chasing greatness. He wants to be like the historics.
Yeah, like I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, like Magic still did at the end of the day get LeBron to sign there.
In his mind, he's like, I got LeBron. That's all I need to do.
But I don't think he would. He wasn't the deciding factor. It's not like LeBron's like, and then Magic's like, oh, come to the Lakers. He's like, wow, you know what? You convinced me by saying that. You're right. Let's go to the Lakers.
It just helped. But just make LeBron in charge. Just put him in charge, please. Just someone do it. Make him coach. Make him president. Just everything. Make the whole. Just name the team Los Angeles LeBrons, and just be done with it. It'll run a lot more smoothly.
Yeah, I kind of agree. You kind of have to submit to LeBron at this point if you want it to work out. If you're truly trying to win with LeBron on the Lakers, you have to get his guys. You have to get him to be like. You have to get a coach he's gonna like. I'm sure Tyronn Lue's gonna be there in like 2 months. I won't be shocked if that's what it's gonna be. But in all honesty, if the NBA brought back player coaches, make LeBron the player coach.
Dude, LeBron's a fucking genius. So
it's scary.
I'm giving him anything he wants. Like he probably knows fucking more than anyone I've ever witnessed play basketball. The guy's a fucking genius.
Like I said, make him player coach. Speaking of coaches, not so shocking news this morning. Luke Walton and the Lakers parted ways. According to sources, it was a mutual part. I don't think anyone's really shocked. I'm sure you guys aren't of Luke Walton being fired.
No, Luke Walton also sucks. He's done nothing to make me think that he's a good coach. Congrats, he coached the fucking Warriors to what was that record fucking like?
It was like 40-something and 2.
Yeah, like 41-2.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
at that point, I could have coached that day.
Like, fucking congrats. Like, nice.
Good job.
But he hasn't done anything. He didn't do anything with the Lakers last year to make me go, wow, he really made this team play better than what they should.
At the start of the season, they were pretty good last year. They kind of,
and then how the end?
They fell off.
Oh, okay. So I mean, that's kind of part of the year.
So he's good at coaching the first 10 games or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I think they had like a 20-game stretch where like they were 500. So, and in other coaching news, instead of a firing that many fans would like to see, the exact opposite happened in Chicago with Jim Boylan, reportedly, according to the Chicago Sun-Times, finalizing a 3-year deal with the Bulls to continue coaching there. I guess John Paxson's really high on him and sees him as the coach of the future. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Gross.
Fuck Jim Boylan. Fuck that
it.
stupid ass egghead, dude. Everything about that guy fucking sucks, dude.
It's just gross.
He's gonna run these fucking players into the dirt, man. There's gonna be back-to-backs, and they're gonna have a fucking 4-hour practice the next day, dude. Jim Boylan's a fucking nutcase. Get him the fuck off my team. Otherwise, I'm gonna go back to the fucking Kings. I'm gonna be a fucking Sacramento Kings full-time fan. I'm fucking gonna commit there.
I'm gonna pick
They're
a
my
random.
second favorite team.
I'm gonna
Hardcore second favorite.
I'm gonna literally pick a random team and just go with them. I don't care who it is. Yeah.
My coworker brought this up yesterday on the Northern Star podcast that we were doing, and he said that with how Jim Boylan's practices are, could you imagine his training camp towards the end of the summer? Could you imagine what that'd be like for those players?
I hate Jim Boylan. Jim Boylan, I know you're fucking listening to this. Fuck you. You want it? You can come on the podcast and we talk about it, but still, it's fuck you.
Long time listener, Jim Boylan.
Yeah,
been here since the start.
Yeah, long time listener, close personal friend, Jim Boylan. Fuck you. He's a piece of shit.
All right. Next part of news in the NBA. Dirk Nowitzki and Dwayne Wade are closing out their historic and extremely impressive NBA careers. We saw both of them go out in style. Their final 2 games, Dirk had 30 points, Wade had 30 points, and then
Triple-double.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was their second to last games. In their final games, Dirk had a 20-10 game, and then Wade had a 25-point triple-double. I mean, that was just amazing to see. What are your guys' thoughts on their final games?
He had a better closeout game than Paul Pierce.
Yep.
Dwayne Wade did. So
What were Paul Pierce's stats for his final game? Does
I
anyone know?
believe it was all zeros.
Oh.
zeros across the board.
I believe he did not even check into the game.
Oh.
2 minutes.
No, yeah,
Oh,
he
I
was
got
in.
it.
He was in.
Oh,
My
so
bad.
you get 2 minutes.
Let's just slip past the old noodle. My bad.
I can't even remember what season that was. Like, what, 2017?
I'd
I mean,
say the last year he played.
I love Paul Pierce, don't get me wrong, and I love those Celtics teams, but you can't come at Dwayne Wade and say you had a better career than him. I mean, Wade beats you in championships, he beats you in all-star
He also
appearances,
said
NBA
it was
selections.
him on the teams that Wade was on. He would have more championships.
No, he would not.
Okay, wait. Let's do Paul Pierce justice. That was his last game in the regular season. He had more games in the playoffs. So his
They actually
actual
played him in the playoffs?
his actual last game, 21 minutes, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal.
And what plus or minus does that come out to?
-7. But give the man some justice. That's a lot better than his fucking zeros across the board and a -3.
Sounds like the -3 was better.
Yeah. Also, a longtime listener, Paul Pierce. Fuck you.
You don't like Paul Pierce?
No, you can come on the podcast and we can talk about it.
So, what were your guys' favorite memories of Dirk or Dwayne Wade?
Well, it was not Dirk winning the title over LeBron.
That's one of my favorite Dirk memories.
Not gonna
I don't know
lie,
about you
didn't really
guys.
watch Dirk that much, so I don't really have a favorite memory of his. Dwayne Wade, I don't know. There's a lot of good memories. I don't really have one specific one I can come up with.
Oh, you, Chad?
Dirk's flu game, man. When LeBron and Dwayne Wade were making fun of him.
They were mocking him before the
They were
game.
mocking him before the game, and he came out and he balled. No, it's definitely think about it. Right now, I don't really see how this is going to change. Dirk was the last – that Mavs team was the last non-super team to win a championship, and I don't really see how that's going to change anytime soon. So that's kind of – that's his defining moment, being
Oh, yeah.
LeBron, the Goliath, in the finals with fucking Jason Kidd, Sean Marion, and all of them. So that's the best Dirk moment for me. And then Dwayne Wade, best Dwayne Wade moment is probably having him rip away like $20 million from the Bulls. That's my all-time favorite Dwayne Wade moment.
All right, in Dwayne Wade's defense, I do have something from his Bulls tenure that was awesome, and I'll never forget it. I think it was our first home game of the season. It might have been the first game for the Bulls of the season. We faced the Celtics, and Dwayne Wade hits that 3 sort of in the corner to seal the game. I don't remember if it was a game winner or just to ice it. He just does like that slash thing across his. That was so awesome. Like, that was the best way possible he could have been introduced in front of his hometown crowd. And to say, I'm Dwayne Wade and I'm still fucking good at basketball. Watch out, NBA. That was awesome. Now the rest of the season wasn't too great, and we were bounced in the first round. But I was just happy to see Wade in the Bulls jersey, even though the season was a throwaway and the Bulls had no clear direction.
Still don't.
Oh, yeah.
We have
Well,
direction.
we still do. There's a few nuts and bolts that are loose,
Nuts
including
and bolts that are
an egg-shaped
coaching.
one. Yes.
Get it because he's a neckhead.
Oh.
Oh.
I picked that up.
Yeah, but I have to say, like, Dwayne Wade, probably top 5. Well, I won't count him as a Bulls player because that won't do him justice. So top 5 non-Bull favorite players all time. We had a little bit of a falling out when he was playing with LeBron and Bosh. It was kind of hard to root for him. Very hard to do that, especially when they were knocking out my Bulls every other year. But I will say, just watching Dwayne Wade and the way he played and what he gave every night and what he did for Miami as a franchise was remarkable. The man deserves a statue outside the stadium, and I can't wait for the day that they hoist his number in the Raptors. It should happen right away. And what I'm going to say for Dirk, what he did for the Mavericks, that franchise was literally nothing before he came there. Their best players before he was there was like Jim Jackson.
Who?
You don't know who Jim Jackson is?
No.
Okay. Jason Kidd, but that was before Jason Kidd was like Jason Kidd.
Mhm.
And Jamal Mashburn. And that crashed and burned
Fucking Jamal Mashburn.
so bad. I mean, okay, Rolando Blackman was pretty good, but that was in the 80s and they were a new franchise. No. So Dirk comes in, skinny kid from Germany. No one knows who he really was. And he changes that franchise overnight. Like, Dallas Mavericks fans are so loyal to the team now. He brought them to 2 finals and won one against arguably one of the greatest teams we've ever seen, which was against one of Dwayne Wade's team, the 2011 Heat. So Dirk did a lot for the game. It was that prototypical stretch 4 that now we see players like Kristaps Porzingis and Lauri Markkanen that are.
We don't say Kristaps no more.
Oh, is Kristaps canceled?
Kristaps, the rapist?
Problematic.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, we're not trying to start off on a rough patch, right? We don't talk about.
I'm talking about the player. I'm not talking about the person.
We don't bring that up. No more.
Okay. Well, players like Lauri Markkanen and Kevin Durant, 7-footers that can shoot.
Those are the players we're talking about. No one else I can really think of.
All right. And as the NBA regular season ends with Dwayne Wade and Dirk's careers phasing out, now starts history for one franchise as the playoffs begin. Who's going to be the team that goes to the finals? We're not sure yet, but tonight we are going to talk about our first round predictions.
Pistons. Pistons are in the finals.
All right. So what do you guys have for Milwaukee and Detroit?
I'll lead off first. I'll be the guest. I'll start out basketball. Bucks in 5.
Bucks and 5.
Detroit gets a game at home, sure, but Bucks in 5.
Antonio?
I'll be mean. I'll say Bucks in 4.
I'm going Bucks in 5 just because I know for a fact Drummond is going to try to grab every fucking rebound possible. He's probably going to have 2 games that are fucking 20 and 20
rebounds. Yep.
So
In fact, he might even average 20 rebounds.
how much most rebounds in a 7-game series? I know for a fact Drummond already looked this up probably.
Probably like Dennis Rodman.
I'm not going to look it up. Probably is, but okay. So in 5-game series, it's 144 rebounds.
Who was that by?
Bill Russell. So,
yes, that makes sense.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
so he needs. I don't think Drummond can get this. He needs 29 rebounds a game. I don't think
that's a little much.
He also has to have the game go to or the series go to 7 games.
No, that was 5.
Oh, that was in 5.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Bucks in 5.
Yep. I got Bucks in 4. I think the Pistons could steal a game, but I'm counting on Milwaukee just like running through them in 4. I'm not saying the games won't be close. I'm sure a game or 2 will be pretty
I guarantee
close.
3 out of the 4 games will come down to like the last possession.
I don't know about the last possession.
They could. Pistons have played some close games this year. I mean,
It's the Bucks in the playoffs, man.
Detroit's hot as shit. And the Bucks haven't won a playoff series, I think it was like since 2001. So
Yeah, and Luke Kennard's been killing it lately.
Yeah, he did have 27, I think.
The thing is, the Pistons never change how they play. They're going to fucking get every rebound possible. Blake is going to have an underrated game. And then their shooters are still going to shoot. It's just if they're going to make their shots or not. Bucks in 5. That's what's
All right, on to the second seed matchup. We got the Toronto Raptors versus the Orlando Magic. Jake again.
Oh, I get to keep leading it off.
Oh, you're the guest.
Raptors in 4. Magic, sure, you're nice. You're a 7 seed. No, Raptors in 4.
It's nice to see the Magic in the playoffs, but Raptors in 4.
Raptors in 4.
That's weird. I also have Raptors in 4.
Wow.
Some would say Toronto's pretty good at basketball.
As some would say.
They will, however, be without OG Anunoby for the
OG Anunoby.
I'm sorry.
Don't disrespect his
OG Anunoby for the first 2 weeks
from
of the
Indiana
playoffs.
University.
All right, we get it. You like Indiana. He went like an emergency surgery for like an appendix, something like that. So that's going to be a tough loss, but I think the Raptors will be fine and still just blow through Orlando. In the third seed in the East, we have the Sixers versus the Brooklyn Nets, as Brooklyn makes its return to the playoffs for the first time since the days of Darren Williams and Joe Johnson
Welcome
and Kevin
back.
Garnett, all three who aren't even in the NBA anymore.
Welcome back.
So, what do you have for this matchup?
Sixers and 6. The Nets, I think, are like one of the most. They're probably the best 42-win team I've seen in a long time. Sixers are just obviously more talented, have a better top 6, but they also are very lazy. I could see them just not caring for 2 games, and D'Angelo Russell going off. So Sixers and 6.
D'Angelo Russell has been gross. Like the whole at least the second half of the year. I don't remember what he did the first half of the year. But yeah, D'Angelo Russell is really hot. I'm gonna go with. They're gonna steal. I'm gonna go with 2 games, so that goes to 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
My math is correct. So yeah, 4-2. Regardless, 76 are gonna win, but the Net, yeah, they're kind of sneaky. What are they? What seed is that? 7?
6.
6? They're a 6 seed. First off, I had them not making the playoffs, so that kind of pissed me off.
I don't know how you didn't have them make the playoffs.
I don't know. I didn't know if they could finish out, and I kind of just wanted Wade to be in the
They had a
playoffs for
tough
some
Oh,
reason.
I wanted to
They
hear
had a
there.
tough
I didn't want the
schedule.
Magic.
And I thought it was going to come down to them, and I believe Miami played. That was the last game. I thought Miami was going to win, which would bump them into the playoffs. But doesn't matter. But I think they're just going to win like 2 games.
Yeah, I think you guys are overrating the Nets and underrating the Sixers. I got Sixers in 5. Although the Nets can be really good, they can also be really fucking bad. And I don't see how this team who they haven't done anything. None of these players have done anything. So I don't see playoffs are a whole different ballgame. 76ers, they have experience, even though it's just one more year of experience, but that's means a lot in the playoffs. So I really don't see how. I think the Nets steal 1 game, and it might be game 1 just because Joel Embiid might not play. And it's going to be because of D'Lo having a huge game. But
He
I
has
really-
to go off every single game for them to have a shot.
like, think about it, dude. The 76ers, you got to stop Joel Embiid. You got to stop Tobias Harris.
Ooh.
You got to stop Jimmy Butler.
Oh, this is becoming the tall task.
You got to stop Ben Simmons.
Oh, I
you got to
don't
stop
like
JJ
this.
Redick.
That's
Oh,
it?
This
That's
Yeah,
it?
so it's
they also got Boban. That's hard
the
to
most efficient
stop
player of all
him.
time. So I really don't see how the Sixers don't win in 5.
I will agree with Chad for many of the reasons he just listed. I also have the Sixers in 5. D'Angelo Russell, very nice player, but if he were on the Sixers, he'd be like the 4th, possibly 5th best player on that team.
But he's not, so he's going to go off. He's going to drop 40
Well, I'm sorry,
in
but
game 3 when they go back home.
if they have a chance at all to win a game, they're going to steal that first game because the Sixers are going to be down Joel Embiid. And then Embiid might not even be back for the second. We don't know yet. So that's the ongoing development.
Mm-hmm.
4th best player? 5th.
I don't want to put him as low as 5th, though.
Well, he is. On that team, he's the 5th best player.
Sorry, you could argue that he's better than Tobias Harris.
Oh!
You could.
Oh! Next. All right, let's talk about the next series. Jesus. Wow.
All right, so at the 4th seed, we have Boston facing a Victor Oladipo-less Indiana Pacers. Oh, come on.
Dude, that was fucking stupid.
Tobias Harris is a very nice player, but I'm telling you, D'Angelo Russell.
Dude,
I
okay,
know who
I
they
get-
both are.
I get why you're saying
Tobias Harris is
that.
the most underrated player in the basket.
Yes,
Yes.
I do agree.
I get why you're saying it, but
D'Lo
D'Angelo Russell
slowly becoming the
is
most
the
overrated.
best player on a below-average team, and Tobias Harris is in the pecking order. He is at the bottom of the starting lineup, and it's very unfair. So I think you switch roles, you're gonna be like, "Wow, D'Angelo Russell's not that good," and then Tobias Harris would be the person going off. So.
Well, I'm not saying Tobias Harris wouldn't go off.
What were we talking about?
Celtics Pacers, go.
Pacers in 6.
Whoa!
The Pacers don't have Oladipo, but they haven't had
Correct.
Oladipo for about 75% of the season. Marcus Smart's out for 4 to 6 weeks with a torn, I think it was a torn lat. They're going to be out. Yeah. He's going to be out the entire series. Indiana, I think, just has too much consistency. Where Boston obviously has a top-end talent, and when they're playing better and they're playing their best, they play their best every game, it'd be a sweep, but they just don't. They haven't all year. I don't think they're going to flip a switch. So Pacers in 6.
I like this hot take.
Pacers in 6. That's interesting. I have Celtics at 6. I don't know. I just always think Celtics, they've been underwhelming. I just think playoff time, they're just going to play well. They're going to let all their side off the court emotions, whatever. Everyone knows Kyrie's probably going to leave. They're just going to let that go and worry about, let's just win some fucking games. I just think once they're focused, even without Marcus Smart, they're just a better team. But again, Pacers could even steal another game. It can go to 7. But I think Celtics in 6.
Yeah, I got Celtics in 6. I mean, I understand that the Pacers are more consistent, but in the playoffs, you need star power. If they had Oladipo, yeah, I could see them winning 6. But you need star power to be successful in the playoffs. And who's closing out the Pacers games? Who's going to do it?
Well, they figured out the whole.
They
did throughout the whole year.
But
So-
playoffs are a whole different ball game.
Correct.
So that's why they don't really have.
Bogdanovich.
Yeah, they don't really have anyone that's gonna be able to close out games. So that Celtics in 6. But I can see honestly, that series is the biggest. Like
That could go to 7.
that could go to 7. That could go to 4.
It's also just Marcus Smart getting hurt this late in the year. They've had no time to figure out, oh shit, what are we going to do without him? So it's also going to be a little buffer.
Scary
for them.
Terry, more minutes. That's all I can think of.
Jaylen Brown more minutes.
Brown.
Trying to think of more too.
Yeah. I have this series going to 6 as well, but again, going to Boston. I will agree with you do need star power in the playoffs. That's why you see some teams that we're going to watch the Clippers. No stars are going to just get decimated by the Warriors.
Wow.
So again, Indiana doesn't have a star. They don't have anyone that's going to carry them. Whereas the Celtics, yes, they've had their issues all season with the balance of having Hayward come in essentially as a new signing this year and Kyrie Irving now being here after he was out the entire playoffs. It's almost like you have 2 players that are competing for minutes, competing for points with the other guys. You didn't see Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown make the development you would have seen this season as after they played very well in the playoffs. So their roles have kind of been diminished. But at the same time, Celtics have the star power. They have the depth. Even without Marcus Smart, I don't see too much of an issue moving past Indiana Pacers. It will go to 6 games, though. Now on to the Western Conference. We're going to start with the first seed, Golden State Warriors versus the Los Angeles Clippers.
Golden State 5. Is Curry playing the first round?
Yeah, they said he was cleared and that his ankle's fine.
I'll still just take him at 5. Just a game where it's basically they're not interested. This is the Clippers season. They know it's their season, so maybe one game at home they'll get it, but that's all.
I'm going to say Warriors in 5 as well. I think even if Curry's fine, it'll probably be a game where he underperforms. Clippers are hot, like you said earlier. They have no that guy, that star power, but they played so well and surprised everyone. But it's the freaking Warriors. It doesn't matter who you are. I don't care if you got Michael Jordan and LeBron, the same goddamn team.
Oh, come on.
This team's
now.
going straight to the finals, and I know we're only doing first round, but they are going to the finals and winning. Everyone knows it. But the Clippers will win 1 game at home.
Oh, thanks for ruining.
I will give them a
playoffs.
little bit of a little something.
I don't
They will
want
win 1 game.
to interrupt the flow and everything, but why even play Curry? Patrick Beverly, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Montrezl Harrell are just gonna beat his ass all series long. They know they're not gonna win, but he has to go up against those 3. Especially Patrick Beverly. Patrick Beverly is gonna take pleasure in just beating the shit out of Stephen Curry the entire series.
Oh, I
So
would count on it.
there's probably no reason for him to
I'd be
quit.
upset if he did it.
Correct, but you're only risking his chance to get hurt. So
Yeah.
and they're definitely gonna watch him. So
Quinn Cook
Probably
would be
won't
fine
do a whole lot
starting.
the first game. What'd you say?
I say Quinn Cook would be fine starting with the rest of the team that they have.
Yeah, I mean, I could start on that team and we'd still win.
Wouldn't Sean
and
Livingston
go to the
start?
finals.
No, they usually start Quinn Cook when Curry's out. They like Livingston off the bench.
I actually have Warriors in 6 just because I
Oh.
think that the way that the Clippers are, they're gonna go out and they're gonna punch them in the fucking mouth. I mean, they're not better than
But
them.
Tobias Harris isn't on the team. Remember that.
Yeah, but they're still kind of they don't give a fuck that the Warriors are the Warriors. where some teams, like, let's say if they were to go against a team like the not the Raptors, the fucking Magic or like the Pistons, I feel like those two teams would be like scared of the Warriors. But the Clippers, they don't give a fuck who they are. They're gonna go out, they're gonna bust their ass, and then they're gonna lose in 6.
Yep.
And because Steph Curry's that's big time. I think
It is.
that Steph Curry means a lot more to that team than any other player on that team.
Yep. I'm also going to go with Golden State Warriors in 4. Well, not also. I think I'm the only one that said that.
Yep.
Never mind. I'm going to go with the sweep because Golden State is Golden State. I can see the Clippers taking 1 just because they're that team that could try to do that whole Cinderella over the 8th seed, trying to take out the 1 seed. But the Warriors aren't the team you're going to do that against.
So we believe team.
Yeah. That would be an interesting script flipped. Like the Warriors getting beat by a team that did the same thing they did back in 2007 to the Mavericks.
Why not us?
I'm going to clip that right there just so we don't go over.
Oh, before
I
you
forgot Brandon's behind us.
start, when you do the Cubs talk, do you have any questions in your Instagram DMs, or am I just going
I actually,
rant style?
I kind of do. I'm going to lead you into it.
I think
A
it'll
little
lead me to, like, if you want to field me questions, it's better than me just going like, here's all of my thoughts. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I can ask you a few questions. Yeah, I actually do have one question. It's a very broad question, but
The question is why do the Cubs suck?
Why are we gonna go
Right.
at 500 this year?
all right. So next in our playoff matchups at the 2nd seed, we have the Denver Nuggets returning for the first time since 2013, and the San Antonio Spurs with Greg Popovich leading the team to 22 consecutive appearances. Jake.
Nuggets in 5. Just I can't name a single player on the Spurs this year.
DeMar DeRozan?
See, this is why I really don't watch West Coast
Hey,
basketball.
Aldridge
Besides the
is
Lakers,
still there, I believe.
Dude, it sucks watching West Coast basketball.
we got
Yeah.
old
You have to be
ass.
up so late for it.
Oh yeah, disgusting. I can't stay up late.
We got school.
Exactly, school. I'm a good studious person,
Yeah.
but Nuggets at 5. I'll be honest. Out of all the series, I know the least about these two teams. I know the Nuggets are awesome on offense, can't play a lick of defense. I just don't know shit about the Spurs.
Well, going off of that, I have Nuggets in 5. Nuggets defense is fantastic. They have hopefully the 2-time defensive player of the year on their team. I know everyone on both teams, but there's just nothing there for me to say it's the same Spurs team they've had all along. They're going to win this series. I don't know. There's no spark. There's no spark for me to say that the Spurs are going to win more than 1 game. Also, I love the Nuggets. Slight, not bandwagon, bias. Thank you. Slight bias toward them. I think they're going to go the far. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but so yeah, Nuggets in 5. I think is what I said.
I have Nuggets in 7. Actually, I just changed it from 6 to 7.
You're wearing the Spurs shirt.
Yeah, but the Nuggets are they're the better team. But I think that the reason why it goes so far is, like I was saying earlier, you can't go from nothing to something. And I think that the Spurs, they've been in these situations before. Every player on the Spurs they've done this. No one really on the Nuggets have done this. And you really don't know. Maybe what if Jamal Murray is terrible in the playoffs? What if Jokic is terrible in the playoffs? You really don't know this. So I could see Spurs winning in 7 also, but I think as of right now, I think Nuggets. I think this one fuck it, Nuggets in 7.
I also have the series going to 7, but I'm going to deviate from everyone else. I have the Spurs in 7, and I'm going to tell you why. The Spurs have experience on their side. DeMar DeRozan was just in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. He's been deep into the playoffs, not as deep as the Raptors would like to be. Yeah, they did get swept, but
It's also the East.
okay, but still,
The
he
East
has.
is not Beast.
But the Raptors have made the playoffs consistently, so I'm saying that DeMar DeRozan has experience.
The West is different, man.
LaMarcus Aldridge also has a lot of playoff experience in the Western Conference. They have Rudy Gay on the team. Derek White's been playing very well. B-Trans is a great shooter. Greg Popovich has done this 22 times. He knows what he's doing. the guy he's going up against, this is his first time coaching the playoff series. Along with that, the only guy on the team that really has any experience on the Nuggets is Paul Millsap. Otherwise, this is everybody's breaking their playoff virginity. So that is why I'm going to chalk it up to experience. It's going to be a great series, probably the best one we'll see in the first round. But the Spurs are going to take it in 7 games. Now we're going to move on to the series. I would say it's going to be the second best.
The best series.
It's going to be the Portland Trail Blazers versus the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is going to be the best series.
Thunder in 6. Was it Nurkic out for the year? I don't know. Thunder in 6.
Short, sweet. I like it. I got Thunder in 6 as well. Thunder, it's funny that they're a 6 seed, and Trailblazers, they're just that team I like to make fun of. They're just going to get out the first round every single year until they blow it up.
Come on, don't give Damian Lillard like that.
I don't care about Damian Lillard. I'd hate to do it to McCollum. He just got back literally 3 days ago or whatever. And it's just, I hate to see it, but they're just that team that they're just getting knocked out every year. And Thunder they're just better.
Yeah, I got Thunder in 7. They're the better team, but I think I cannot wait to watch just Russ and Dame just go at each other every single night. I think that right there, that point guard matchup is the best matchup out of the whole playoffs. Better than any 2 teams going at each other, better than any 2 positions going at each other. That's going to be awesome to watch. But I think that the Thunder are just a way better team. And maybe if there was Nurkic, maybe it would be a different story. But I think Paul George is going to go back to playing how he was playing.
Playoff P, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
All right. I also have the series going to 6. I'm going to give it to the Thunder. The Thunder really shouldn't be in the seed they are in.
No.
They just, after the All-Star break, Paul Pierce was so inconsistent. Westbrook couldn't find his shot. So
Paul Pierce.
That's the second time I've done that this week. Paul George. Yeah, no, if they had Paul Pierce, they'd be just getting a lot of zeros.
Yeah.
So, Paul George was inconsistent after the All-Star break, unfortunately, which kind of derailed his potential MVP candidacy. Not that I think he would have won it if he continued playing like how he would have before, but that's beside the point. Nurkic breaking his leg really hurts the team, and we just saw the Thunder play Houston, and Westbrook and Paul George just destroyed them towards the end of the fourth quarter with a comeback win. So if we see the Thunder playing like that against a team like the Rockets, I'm very confident that the Thunder will move past Portland without too much difficulty.
Over under, does Russell Westbrook shoot above or below 30% in the first half of each game?
I'm going to say he shoots over.
I'm going under.
That man, I can't.
That man starts every game like 2 for 10. Like it's
I can't
disgusting.
even criticize you for that take, though.
It's
just
just
you could
gross.
be right.
That man finishes half the game.
I know, and it's just so funny how he starts the games. It's funny. I just had to throw that in there.
2 sure first half things. Robin Lopez will have the Bulls' highest point total by the end of the first half, and Westbrook will be shooting under 30%.
Yes.
All right, so the final series that we have is Houston, who slipped to 4th when they could have been as high as 2 on the final night, thanks to Portland coming back from being down, 28 against the Kings?
20-something.
And then they'll be facing the Utah Jazz. Jake, what are your thoughts?
I don't
on
think they
this?
have any problem with the Jazz. Rockets in 5. It'll be a quick, nice, easy series. I see most of the Western Conference as being nice and easy. Rockets in 5. James Harden, pretty good. MVP.
Some would
Pretty
say
good at
he's
basketball.
really good at basketball.
I'm going to say Rockets in 4, and it is actually hilarious that they're this seed because of both of those games that both those teams should have lost, and they didn't, which is why they got bumped down from 2 to 4. But Rockets in 4, they got the best player in freaking basketball right now.
What do you think the nightclub scene is like in Utah? Or is like James Harden just going to be like only focus on basketball?
Dude,
when they're in
if you're in Utah, that's all you can do is focus on.
Dude, it's like DeKalb. Like, what's there to do?
Dude, if he goes to a
Everyone's
nightclub,
like, hey,
dude, you know, man,
We got Molly's.
Dude,
No,
if he goes to a nightclub, though, dude, you know how problematic that is?
Do
You
they
know
have
how
nightclubs?
those white people are going to treat him there?
Do they have nightclubs there?
I doubt it.
that's what I'm saying. He might be dropping
many
60.
Mormons.
Game 3, Game 4, James Harden points take the over every time.
Yes.
I got Rockets in 6. I think.
Oh.
I really don't like
Favorite.
watching the Jazz. The Jazz are such a fucking boring team to watch. I don't really like Donovan Mitchell. I'm not a big fan of Rudy Gobert. It's just boring basketball to me. But they're good at what they do. They're really good defensively, and I think that it's kind of offensive power versus defensive power. But the Rockets are so good, so they're gonna win in 6. But I mean, think about last year. The Jazz surprised everyone last year, so I don't see why they can't give a little surprise to people this year.
I have this series being kind of a quick one as well. I have the Rockets taking them out in 5. The Rockets are just so good. James Harden's just so good. I mean, the man averaged the most points since Michael Jordan in 1988, 89, something like that.
Something like that.
That's disgusting. I mean, James Harden is probably going to be the MVP. I could also see it going to Giannis, but I'm not having the MVP of the NBA going out in the first round or even having to deal with a game 6 or 7. So it's going to be quick.
Here's a quick question. What do you guys think Harden averages in the playoffs?
Oh.
I don't know how long he's going to be in the playoffs, but what do you think
Playoffs
his
in
points per
40.
game
At
average?
least 40.
Let's say 35.
32.5.
Oh, you're
Give me the
going
half.
under his season average.
I think 38.5.
I'm just going to hit 40. I'm just going to say 40.
I respect it.
I mean, I don't want to be wrong and say, oh, he's going to be around the same season average, and he just blows up like Dwayne Wade in the final,
The thing comes
4
down
games of
to
that
is freaking
Mavericks
Chris
series.
Paul for them actually getting fired.
Chris Paul's the X factor. His health,
Yes.
at least, is the X factor.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I said this to you 2 days ago. Chris Paul is cursed. That man, it doesn't matter what he does, he can get hurt at any moment, and that's why they lose. It could be, I don't know, something involving that man will stop this team from getting as far as they should.
Yeah.
And I hate it because he's one of my favorite players.
You know what storyline I can't wait for with the Rockets? When they do move on to the next round, you know who they're going to face after that?
The Clippers.
The Warriors.
Yes.
The Clippers.
My bad.
Yeah, team from California, right?
Correct.
I just, if the Warriors are going to lose in the West, it's going to be to the Rockets. I don't think it's going to happen, but could you imagine the Rockets, taking the Warriors to 7 games in the second round?
Wow, it's like they did
Did it
that.
last year. Wow. Wild.
I know, but I'm saying, the possibility of that. So I'm really excited for the Rockets being in the 4th seed.
Yes.
All right. That just about does it for our NBA part of the podcast. We're going to move on to the Chicago Cubs. So for you Cubs fans, stay tuned. This is Highly Opinionated.
I'll be over here. I'm fuck. I'm actually gonna go shit.
Sounds good.
You guys are going to come back for the next. Well, obviously, I'm telling you.
I don't have a choice.
All right. So, Jake, we're going to start this segment.
Sounds good. What am I working with here? Mostly, am I going to get a monologue to start?
Yeah, I'm going to kind of say, what their record is, what they did today,
Okay.
stuff like that, and then just. All right. I hate how I have to put in my Yeti every single time that I do this. All right, we're back, and now we're talking about baseball. Yes, we're talking about baseball on a predominantly basketball podcast, but I like the Chicago Cubs. It's my podcast, and I can do whatever the fuck I want. So, the Cubs have been struggling this year. They're 5-8. They did just win against the Angels today, so that helps, but the bullpen's been terrible, and it's just been tough. We have Braden asking in our mailbag, what is wrong with the Cubs? And Jake, would you enlighten us on what is wrong with the Cubs?
There was a lot wrong with the Cubs. So baseball, obviously, being in Chicago in late March, early April, weather sucks. So usually every time, beginning of the year, they play road games. They played 3 in Texas, 3 in Atlanta, and then 3 up in Milwaukee. If you know anything about those teams, Texas, not so great. Atlanta won the division last year. Milwaukee won the division last year. And they ended up going 1 game away from the World Series. Pretty fucking good baseball teams. Yes, the bullpen looked like shit. Yes, the starter's ERA is the highest in baseball through those 9 games. So, yes, at that point, nothing looked good. Offense was clicking. Offense is still clicking, but it's a rough start. It was overblown for what it was. It was not a great start, obviously, but it was overblown. I don't know where else you want me to go.
So you see the Cubs
Oh, they're
getting back into their stride after this?
They're winning. They're going to get back in their stride. Like I said, rough start. They have a 3-game set with the Angels at Wrigley. After that, they're going down to Miami for 3. And then after that, they're going to Arizona. Arizona's coming to Wrigley for 3 more. Everything about those 3 teams, they're all garbage. Like today, what was it? Tyler Skaggs started for the Angels. 4 bombs off him. They're going to go to Miami. Miami's literally a minor league baseball team. They don't have anyone that would make the Cubs roster. Maybe or Starlin Castro would. Their ace would probably be our 5th starter. They're a horrible baseball team. We should go down there. Most likely win 2 or 3. Hopefully get a sweep. And when the Arizona Diamondbacks come into town, they got Zach Greinke. That's really it. They traded off Goldschmidt. They didn't re-sign A.J. Pollock. So 5-8 right now. After the end of this, I could see probably doing math off the top of my head is not great. Probably 11-9 after the end of these 3 series. So things will be fine.
All right. And since it's been 3 seasons since we've won the World Series, so obviously, like with teams like that win championships, you have a certain window, a certain amount of time before you kind of have to rebuild, retool, stuff like that. What do you see happening with the Cubs? If we do turn it around, do you think the Cubs have a decent chance at possibly getting to the World Series again?
So whoever's listening, after you listen to this, go over Apple Podcast app, whatever you listen to. Go to Skyline Sports, hit subscribe. That's my podcast I do with my friends. We were talking about this earlier last week. The Cubs right now are at 16-1 odds to win the World Series. If you have any money in your betting account, put all of that towards the Cubs. That is the best value you're going to get the rest of the year. This team is still awesome. This lineup is a bunch of fucking studs. This bullpen, not great. It will get better. This is how Theo works every year. There is a problem beginning of the year. Theo will fix it. Obviously, this offseason was horrible for him. He took a lot of shit. He will figure it out. And the bullpen's already turning it around. They are scoreless in the last 18 innings. That's awesome. 18 innings, scoreless. They're figuring it out. They're not great, but they'll add a piece or two towards the end of the summer. They'll be just fine. Everything about this team is just fine.
Do you see any specific pieces in mind that you'd like to add, or are you just?
It's too early right now because everyone besides Miami, Baltimore, Arizona, every team thinks that they have one. And in the Blue Jays. So those 4 teams are going to be sellers, but the thing is they have no one to sell. Like I said, they're minor league baseball teams. They are just god-awful, so they have nothing to sell. Eventually we'll see teams start to fall off throughout the season, like a team like Pittsburgh maybe. They'll start to fall off. Just Mariners off to a hot start. They are a team that could eventually fall off just because they don't have the talent to sustain their hot start. But right now there's really no one in mind to go get. But it will be a back-end bullpen guy. They have Brandon Morrow coming back next month. He typically never stays healthy, so I wouldn't rely on Brandon Morrow, but this team will be fine. Something I want to point out, it's not really about adding anyone through a trade. It's just people playing how they should play. Chris Bryant, for the first 13 games, awful. First 2 games in Texas, he looked great. Killing the ball, hit a ball onto the track. Next at bat, hit one, Oppo, probably 425. To start the year, he's slashing 224, 321, 367, which, if anyone doesn't know, the numbers go batting average, on-base percentage, and slugging. So he's batting 224, on-base 321, slugging 367. Awful. His career averages are 283, 384, 511. He's not driving the ball. He's striking out a lot higher rate than he usually does, and he just kind of doesn't look right at the plate, which is very worrisome from his awful year last year. So as long as Chris Bryant can get back to where he's supposed to be, where if Anthony Rizzo gets back to where he's supposed to be, if Javier Baez could take another step, this team, they're going to win their division. I'm still 100% confident in that. And the NL is not too good this year. There's no teams like the AL where they are just top heavy, where the bottom half just sucks. The NL is more a lot of teams clumped in the middle with a few pretty good teams.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll be hearing a lot more of the
yes.
Cubs go this year, seeing more of the W's flying.
Mm-hmm.
It's still very early.
Still very early.
Yeah.
The next 3 series are very important. If they struggle throughout these 3 series, then I will hit the panic alarm. Beginning of this year, I took the panic button out of the drawer. I put it on the table. I just looked at it. Then after this, I put it back in the drawer. I closed the drawer. But if they fuck up these next 3 series, I'm going to take it back out of the cabinet.
All right. Well, hopefully you won't have to do that. This is Jake Larson. He has a podcast, as he mentioned, on iTunes podcast, Skyline Sports. Make sure you check it out. Does a lot of baseball. They also talk a lot of college basketball. Highly recommend it. Thanks for talking Cubs with me today.
No problem.
right, and we'll clip that. All right, and now we're gonna go to mailbag. So Antonio and Chad, welcome back.
That's why I watch Fortnite.
Yeah, well, now you're answering questions, and you guys are free to answer them if you feel like you can answer them.
I will answer.
Because I'm just gonna address them to everybody. So I hope you're watching, Aaron Braun. I hope you're watching because this is
He's in fucking Iowa.
Oh, Aaron, you suck. I'm going to have to clip it for him. Just send it.
Aaron doesn't watch. I don't answer.
No, we'll answer it regardless. All right. So it's time for the highly opinionated mailbag. We got some questions from Instagram that we're going to throw out there. The first one comes from Aaron. And in fact, a lot of these questions come from Aaron that we will be going with next. All right, so guys, prime Derrick Rose or prime Russell Westbrook?
Give me prime D Rose. I just don't like. This is my own personal agenda. I just don't like Russell Westbrook that much as a player. Volume shooter. Just give me D Rose.
I'm gonna say D Rose slightly over what Russell Westbrook. Okay. Again, he just shoots. He's one of those people like. I'm going to shoot, and if I'm cold, I'm going to try and shoot out of it, where Derrick Rose would be like, you know what? It's not my day to shoot. I'm going to pass a little bit more. He's not going to be an idiot. I'm going to drive more. Westbrook is just an idiot sometimes, so that's what I'm going to take D Rose.
Chad?
I am not going to answer this question because we don't know prime Derrick Rose. We don't know what he would be like in his prime. I'm not going to judge 22-year-old Derrick Rose. That's like I have to compare him off of 22-year-old Russell Westbrook when he was just a raw athlete at that time who just didn't know how to run an offense or anything like that. So, I mean, if I'm going to go off of that, I'm going to go Derrick Rose, obviously, but I really don't know how, what if Derrick Rose's game never transcended, Russell Westbrook used to be a god-awful shooter. Now he can have games where he makes a lot of threes. So, I mean, I don't really know how – if Derrick Rose consistently played the way he did – maybe he wouldn't be as good of a shooter as he is right now. So I don't know.
I'm kind of going to go with what you said. I will say Westbrook, just to be fair to Westbrook, because I'll count prime Derrick Rose as the 22, 23-year-old phenomenal MVP candidate. Whereas Westbrook, we saw him average 3 triple-doubles in a row over the last 3 seasons. And it's not fair to Westbrook to say, oh, well, Derrick Rose, what he would have been. Now, if we're going off speculation, Derrick Rose is my favorite player. I had no doubt in my mind he would probably still be a top 5 player in today's NBA, maybe even higher than that. We don't know. So I would say he would be better than Westbrook is currently. All right. The next question that comes from Aaron, do you think Delonte West fucked LeBron's mom?
Fuck yeah. Fuck the shit out of her, man.
Antonio?
Yeah. Next.
Pass.
All right. Who is one pro athlete you think you can beat up? This is also from Aaron.
Isaiah Thomas. I kicked the shit out of Isaiah Thomas. I fucking kick him right in the hip.
Ryan Anderson. Ryan Anderson is a bitch.
But he's 6'10".
I don't give a fuck if he's 8'10". That dude probably can't bench press 200 pounds.
Chad?
Isaiah Thomas.
I don't want to pick the easy one. I mean, come on.
I'm just telling you, one kick to that hip, he's not walking.
Yeah, I'm going to kick him in the face.
Isaiah Thomas, if you disagree, come on the podcast and debate with us.
Oh,
we'll schedule a boxing match right now. Isaiah Thomas, if you're paying attention, next week I will see you at the NIU Rec Center. Next Friday, 7 p.m. Rough and Rowdy.
I dare you to beat my ass.
Yeah.
I dare you.
Now, see, I'm a little skeptical. I feel like Isaiah Thomas could be a little scrappy.
Dude, he's got old man body, dog. We were talking about the hip, man.
I know, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Now, you may see this as Kendrick Perkins would kill me. No. This is kind of like a cop-out and kind of cheap, but I will say it's him when he was in this athletic prime. I'm going to take Muggsy Bogues. He's 5'3".
No, we're talking about current athletes.
Current.
Oh, does it? No, it just says pro athlete.
Fine.
This is
I only
a-
thought-
Fine. Phil Mickelson.
Who's that?
Phil Mickelson.
The golfer.
This is a golfer.
I'd kick the shit out of him. John Daly. Come on, John.
John Daly.
Give me Babe Ruth. I would
Yeah.
beat the shit out of Babe Ruth.
Dude,
You just have to run around in a circle a few times,
Exactly.
you'll get tired.
I love
Who's that fucking tennis player? I'll beat the fuck out of him.
Serena
Yeah.
Williams.
Whoa.
Whoa, that's
Serena-
problematic. That's
You would
problematic.
probably
One kick
probably
with
beat
those
you.
fucking legs, and you're dead.
Serena Williams would beat my ass.
Eat my ass.
All right. Another question from Aaron directed to Chad.
Mhm.
Who would you Who would you rather bang, Antonio or Jarrett with one T? He spelled it with one T, so I'm assuming it's not me. I'm just gonna go with that. Separating myself. from
I'm
this
going
question.
with Antonio just because I feel as if we can have more laughs about it. And if I were to fuck you, assuming he meant with two T's,
Oh,
I would assume that that'd be problematic upon us.
yeah. Probably wouldn't go over too well. And final question from Aaron. Fight to the death, one gorilla or two hyenas?
One gorilla. What?
One gorilla.
I thought it was gonna be the fucking gorilla verse.
Oh, me and Jake have had this discussion.
what's-
Hey, don't forget.
what
We'll
is
have
the other
a-
animal?
No, there's a whole bunch. We'll have a special podcast on that.
Oh yes.
That has to be a whole podcast thing. You can't just casually talk about it.
Was it gorilla?
No, it's not just two animals. It's fucking like
It's the
nine
one that
options,
everyone
nine
talks
options.
about.
Yeah. We're not talking about that right now because that's a huge debate. Jake and I are debate on this.
All right, we're moving on from Aaron. This one isn't really a question, although it kind of is. We have one from Jackie. She says, "Can you please put my comment in your podcast?" Well, Jackie, I'm happy to tell you your question is
Yeah.
in this podcast.
Fuck you. I don't know who you are, Jackie, but fuck off.
If it's a Jackie I know, she's a very nice person, so I'm not gonna say that.
All right,
I hope it's not an older person. So I feel bad.
If it's, I don't actually.
it's
What
not Jackie Lloyd.
I know a few Jackies. I don't know which one it is,
Good
but they're all nice. So
Right.
anyway,
So this one can go to everybody. How has NIU been? This is from Zach S. So Jake, how has NIU been for you?
Oh, it's been fantastic. It's been the love of my life. I love every day waking up a Husky. I'm dreading the next 4 semesters here. I'm dreading counting down the last 4 semesters. I love every day.
I'd say, wow, that's a little.
I mean, it's better than my community college and staying at home. So better than that. I have nothing to really complain about NIU. It's college.
Go Dogs.
That's all you gotta say.
That's all I gotta say. Go Dogs.
I'll say that the first semester here was a little rough. I didn't do too much. Wasn't really involved with anything. So like it was just like, okay, I'm not at MCC, so that's good. I'm not at home, but I'm here, so there's nothing really to do. Don't know too many people. But then this semester, joined an intramural team, that's how we know Jake. He was our team captain. He was a pretty good team captain most of the time, except he let us down one game, didn't tell us we had a game.
I
so we
didn't know there was a
forfeited.
game. I just didn't get an email.
Gave us bad playoff seedings to where we had to face the best team in the second round with only 5 players, so there's that.
That was rough. I'm still sore after that one.
But I will say, like, I did get a job. It's kind of an internship at the Northern Star this semester, so I've met more people through there. So it's made, I guess, NIU and the experience for me a little bit better. So there's that. All right, and the final question we have for tonight. This comes from Rob, and I'm sure you two know which Rob this is based on what question this is about to come out of my mouth.
Oh, wait.
Is D'Lo the GOAT?
I literally just said earlier, I love D'Lo. Love him as a player.
He's a snitch.
Oh,
He will always be a snitch.
D'Lo is slowly becoming an extremely overrated player. You guys are talking about fucking D'Lo leading fucking the Nets over a couple of wins against the fucking
I said
76ers.
one.
Hey, what's wrong with 1 or 2 wins?
2 wins?
Well,
Hell no. You said he was better than Tobias Harris.
I think he's.
I said that's okay. They can get a win, yes or no? They can get a win. Maybe they randomly somehow get another win. Maybe Ben Simmons goes scoreless another game. I don't know. We don't know about Joel Embiid. Maybe they just take 2 games somehow. Well, no, he's not the GOAT.
Yeah,
actually.
sorry, Rob. He's not the GOAT. I will give you that. I did say before the season started that D'Lo won't be an all-star. He's not really going to – he'll get better, but not by much. I was wrong. He did become an all-star, even though it took Victor Oladipo to get hurt. But I will give you that. D'Lo has impressed me this year. I wasn't really big on him before. So I'll give you that.
He's a fucking snitch.
I've been trying to play like D'Lo lately.
Why?
Like just casual.
I was at the rec the other day, and I got fucking mixed up so hard to the point where like the guy faked to drive baseline. I turned, and then he crossed over, and my back was still turned, so I just waved him to like pull up. He was just like holding the balls. It was the whole gym was laughing at me. It was a bad look.
Hey, I was shooting on one of the other courts the other day. I saw you had a nice three. I saw that.
Oh, the jump shot's looking good, but when you're fucking just getting laughed at on defense, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Revenge game tomorrow.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
I got nothing going. I'm gonna be playing the show. I fucking do nothing. It's Northern Illinois.
That is
Hey!
Whoa.
He does nothing because Northern Illinois is so fun, and you
Yeah.
just can't decide what to do.
No, there's just an overload of options.
Yeah, so you just end up doing nothing. It's like, fuck, what do I do today? I got this, I can do this, I can do that.
You spend all
I'll
night
just do nothing.
deciding.
Instead of having like a sensory overload, I just decide
He goes the easy way out. He plays the show. I play Apex. It's a fun time.
Yeah. Well, that wraps up the mailbag for this week. If you want to be on it next week, you just message me or any of the guys here on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, whatever. If you can get a hold of me, YouTube comments, whatever. That's just how you do it. All right. When we come back, we're going to do some of Antonio's locker room talk. Let's see what he has going on this week. And this is the final segment of the night.
bum, 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 bum.
Can't wait for Chad to make up his. He did make yours, never mind. I did see.
I mean, I typed
What
it
were
out,
you
but
typing so aggressively?
Don't worry about it.
Talk shit about me?
No.
Yeah, I see that
You
smart.
can ask me questions.
I did
Say
actually
yes.
ask him a question.
All right.
I forgot what I'll keep for the end.
All right, Antonio, whenever you're ready.
All right, so this is the locker room talk, my segment. So everyone bow down to me. First thing I want to talk about. So last time we were talking about the national championship, or I'm sorry, the Final Four and the national championship. I actually fell asleep halfway into it because it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't like I wasn't hyped to watch Texas Tech and Virginia. Like that doesn't. There's nothing there to draw me into that game.
Doesn't really do it for me either.
So I fell asleep. I woke up as overtime started. I said, wow, I missed a lot. So I watched the end of that. Okay game. Virginia wins. Kyle guy sucks. Whatever. A cool thing that I saw was Bruce Pearl, when they lost, there was a missed call. There should have been a double dribble. Me being a registered ref, I can confirm that was a double dribble that they missed. So,
Expert analysis.
yes, it happens. Bruce Pearl said there's human error in the game. You know, players screw up, coaches screw up. He said, so eventually the ref's going to screw up.
Oh, no,
He
that's
said-
a guarantee.
Whoa.
It's
He
basketball.
said, get over it. And I really like that because a lot of people, I mean, we're fans, so we just want our teams to win. And we can sit back and just pick apart players or refs on calls and stuff. And we get upset about it. And I liked how he didn't complain saying, oh, we should have won, but the ref screwed up. I liked how he kind of just said, shit happens, get over it. Whatever life happens, you got to get over it. Instead of, like Sean Payton and the Saints where they're still crying. And now there's a freaking rule change where what is it? You can review a pass interference
Yeah,
or something.
all pass interferences are reviewable.
Oh
something
my
like that.
god! The NFL games are gonna be like 8 hours long because every freaking pass. Because now no one runs, so we're passing about 80% of the time, unless you're the Ravens, who pass 40% of the time. And so now the game's gonna be 5 hours long because you're gonna review every goddamn play. So it's just annoying how people can complain. So I really liked how Bruce Pearl just shut them up by saying, just be the bigger person, not complain about shit like that. Switching gears from college to NBA, With Wade and Dirk retiring, they're like they're in the top 5 of their positions. So I kind of came up with my top 3 in each position. This is all time, not current. Thought it would be interesting. I wanted to see where everyone fell. So I'll just say we'll probably do like position by position. So I'll start with my point guards. Magic is still number 1. Curry has been rising every single year. I actually have him at 2, and there's a chance he could be 1. I don't know. It could be tough, but think about it. He's going for his 4th championship. Magic has 5. Who's to say he can't get another 1 or 2? I mean, the 3 ball is ridiculous. He's going to have the most freaking threes of all time. It's just, I don't know. I just think he's almost guaranteed a 4th championship this year. That's only 1 behind Magic. He averages more points per game. I know that's not everything, but I mean, he's going to have the most threes in the game. You have a question?
I don't mean to interrupt you, but right now you're talking about championships, right? Are you a championship guy or not?
No, I'm just saying that.
Well, that's been your strongest case for Steph, saying, well, he's going to get another championship. But I know when you go to the MJ or LeBron, you don't really use championships. I don't
care about championships. I'm saying most people do.
But this is your top list.
He's got a point.
I'm just saying you can't use championships for one argument and not use it for the other.
I'm not saying it's the most important.
That's the main thing you've been talking about.
Well, if you want me to go into stats, I have to bring up my laptop, and I don't know specific stats. So if you want me to
go with your number 3.
My number 3 is Jerry West because he's the very best.
Oh, can I throw in?
Of course.
People that call Jerry West a shooting guard, you are wrong. Jerry West is a point guard. Most of his career, he was at the point guard. He won a championship as a point guard. Gail Goodrich started at shooting guard. Gail Goodrich was good at basketball. Jerry West is a point guard. All right, I'm done.
I will add on to Curry. He is changing the game. He has revolutionized the game, kind of like how Magic did. Changed the point guard position. Now we got people like freaking Ben Simmons who are 6'10" and point guards.
I love
Curry has now said, hey, 3 points is more than 2, so I'm just going to make more of those, and I'm going to win games.
Stop it.
So now everyone...
I don't want to hear
So
it.
now everyone says, wait a minute, that math checks out. Let's jack up 83s a game. Or what, the Houston, they just set their own record. How many threes they had the other day?
Is it like 30?
I don't know.
I'm just throwing a number out there.
It might have been 40.
It was like
28. 20 something? I don't know. Whatever number it was, they broke their own freaking record. That's what everyone does now because of him. So if you want to do your point guards now.
I have Magic, same reason as you. Steph, same reason as you. And then one of the most underrated all-time players, Oscar Robertson. I love Oscar Robertson. He's one of my all-time favorite players.
Stuck for 3 and 4 for him, and Jerry West inched him out.
No, Jerry West does not do it for me. Jerry West is not better than Oscar Robertson.
Sorry, that's okay. I forgive you.
Same top 3 as Chad. Magic, Curry, Oscar.
That's fine.
I have the same top 3 as them, only I got spots flipped, although probably based on what's going to happen in this year's finals, that could swap to what Jake and Chad have. I have Magic, Oscar Robertson, and Steph Curry. I just think because of Oscar Robertson's career, like for most of his career, he was on his own. I think his best teammate was like Chet Walker for like
who? I'm pretty sure he was.
You don't know who Chet Walker? He was a Bulls legend.
He was a teammate with some guy named Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Well, I'm saying like for the first half of his career, like for the longest.
I know that guy.
For the longest time,
that's just one of his championships with Kareem.
You didn't let me finish. I am well aware. I'm just saying, like when he was with the Royals, all he had was like Chet Walker, and then Chet Walker left for the Bulls.
I almost bought a Royals.
That would be dope.
Jersey. Hey, just saying, Oscar's only championship was with Kareem.
Yeah, well, yeah. Then he did get Kareem, and he did finally make it to the finals and win. Actually, he might have been.
Did he need Kareem, or did Kareem need him?
Let's just say the Bucks needed both of them because they haven't been back since.
Well, they're a 1 seed now.
That is true for the first
since
time.
that year.
Yeah. No, I think that. Oh no, they weren't a 1 seed that year. Actually, wait. I'd have to look
I
it
don't-
up. They might have been a 1 seed.
They
in
might have.
85.
I don't remember. Anyway, shooting guard. There's this guy named Michael Jordan who's number 1.
Yeah, he's good at basketball.
I got Kobe at 2,
Also good at basketball.
and Dwayne Wade, who just retired,
Still good at basketball.
is very good at basketball. This one was quite easy, and I don't even think I need to elaborate on those 3. It's just that is that, and I don't think anyone will have a different top 3, but you never know.
Same.
Mm-hmm. Different. Jordan 1. Currently, I got Dwayne Wade at number 2.
Ooh,
And-
wow.
Right now, Dwayne's at 2, but if everything keeps going the way it's going, James Harden's going to finish at 2 by the end of his career.
Oh, so you're a Kobe
this
hater.
guy.
Kobe
Oh.
sucks.
Okay.
First off, I am a Kobe
Wait.
hater, but
Is-
I still know he's good at basketball.
So is James Harden your top 3? He's your 3.
He's my third.
He's
My
at 3.
Could you elaborate on why Kobe signed?
I don't want to hear this bullshit.
I'm interested.
It's
I'm
fucking wrong and
interested on
stupid.
James Harden. I
That's
didn't
just-
put him
That's
in
just
my
pure
top
hate,
3
dude.
just because
He's the same
there's a
exact
lot
fucking
more
player
to
as
the
Michael
way.
Jordan.
You never
No,
know.
exactly. He is not the same player as Michael Jordan. He's the Aldi brand. Like,
Oh
he's
my
not as good.
God, dude.
What's he better at? Nothing.
Shooting 3. That's it.
Shooting a 3. Okay, cool. And what? I don't know. I should say, okay, cool. I shouldn't just dispose of, like,
Everything
Michael
else is
Jordan.
damn near the same. What's one
Everything's
thing
just
that's just
worse.
Just-
and that's
It's
all the way
worse.
up here, and Kobe's all the way down here.
Well,
Well, that's what you're
the
acting like.
thing is, I don't think Jordan's all the way up here.
Well, you're acting like Kobe fucking sucks.
He's not good.
Small forward list. I got fucking. I got.
mine.
We don't care about shooting.
You said
Oh,
same.
it's just-
You
this
said
is
same.
just-
Did I
I'm-
say same? I
I'm
don't know.
disgusted at that talk. LeBron, Larry, and Kevin Durant.
Same.
LeBron, Durant, Bird.
I allow it. I thought about it for a little bit.
I mean, Durant could very easily pass Larry, so I can see it. I don't think it's that way now. I also have to say LeBron, Bird, and Durant.
I can't hate it.
I
don't know what I feel.
eventually, I think eventually KD though.
Especially if KD goes like somewhere like the Knicks and does lead them to like a finals, then
Good luck with that.
well, if you think about it, he'd take 3 teams to the finals. That's really impressive.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you got to take that organization to the finals,
And that's what would
That
easily
might
put him
be-
over the top.
that might be harder than what LeBron did with that Cavs team. That might be harder.
Yeah, well, depending on the personnel that would come with Durant going to the
Obviously,
Knicks,
if
I'm
Kyrie
sure
goes, it's different.
Yeah.
This is getting a bit off topic, but like talking about the Kyrie thing, I saw a report where like Durant and Kyrie basically both like decide like, hey, we're gonna go to the Knicks,
Yeah,
but they're kind of deciding who's gonna sign first because like whoever signs second is seen as the follower.
correct.
That'd be a crazy ass like Twitter day if it was just like, all right, 6:00, we're both making the announcement, like same press conference, same everything.
If
That'd be badass.
I think
it has to be Kevin Durant first. It has to be Kevin Durant first.
I
Just
think-
for his legacy. I think that
it'll be funny if he's second.
no, I mean it would be, but I think
I want him to be
that
second.
You just hate Kevin
I think
Durant.
Kyrie is smart enough to know that it has to be Kevin Durant first. He can't keep being a follower
Yeah.
unless he goes to LA, plays with LeBron. That'd be pretty cool.
Also, because if Durant would sign second, can't talk today. If he does sign second, then there's this kind of whole stigma like, oh, it's not Durant's team, it's Kyrie.
Exactly, that's the whole drama.
Well, be Durant's team, but anyway. So power forward, we got Tim Duncan. This is gonna piss someone off in this room. I have Karl Malone at number 2.
Whoa,
I'm
really?
shocked.
I think
And
Carmelo is second.
oh, okay.
Oh,
And this was hard
Oh,
for
I'm
me
shocked.
over Kevin Garnett and Dirk. I have Kevin Garnett squeaking out at 3 above Dirk. Mostly because of his defense. He's
yeah.
a two-way guy where Dirk is more just a scoring guy. So that's why I have him at 3. But anyone wants to pick apart that?
Since I had something very similar, I will go next. I had Tim Duncan. You can't argue against Tim Duncan at this point. Then Karl Malone, just
Honestly, you could argue.
No peeking.
I also I had a conversation with Chad about this about a month ago because I'm working on this crazy top 500 list, and it got to the point I was ranking the power forwards, and I'm looking at Garnett, and I'm looking at Dirk, and because Dirk just retired, it made me tonight want to put Dirk there, but I couldn't, so I had to put Garnett. They're both so close. They both won a title. They both were tremendous basketball players. It's just Garnett's defense is what puts him over the top for me.
I have Duncan, Malone, and I have Dirk at 3. Just because although KG is more of a complete player than Dirk kind of had a bigger impact on his team. And maybe it's because he was allowed to have a bigger impact on the team.
Okay.
But I think Dirk is more of just he created more stuff out of his team than what KG ever did.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
Please don't piss me off, Jake.
Oh,
I have Barkley at 2.
make
I
him-
got
As long as you don't have Malone at
Laurie
1, fine.
Markkinen at
Wait,
3.
you don't want Malone where?
1.
Oh, you won't hear his name. Don't worry. Duncan Dirk
wow.
Garnett. Just because Karl Malone's a piece of shit human being.
Dude, he
Wow.
impregnated 13-year-old. Fuck Karl Malone.
So I have to say he's bad at basketball because of it?
I don't give.
Kobe's a
and,
rapist. He's number 2 for me.
and he's not on my list.
Not guilty. Karl Malone
Right.
impregnated 13-year-old when he was 19 years old.
And then refused to
That's
pay $125 child support.
Andrew Johnson has HIV. He's number 1.
He didn't give him fucking rape.
He did it from having
Wow.
sex with other people.
Congrats on the sex.
He had a significant other.
So you're telling me cheating is the same as fucking rape?
Yes.
No.
Oh,
It's a
Wow.
joke. I was
Well,
joking.
okay.
That's problematic.
That
Can't be
was-
problematic.
tone deaf as shit.
I was
It's a
joking.
horrible joke.
You can't still right
Sorry.
there. All right. I have Kareem, Wilt, and Shaq for my centers. Let's just change the subject.
I have Bill Russell at 3 over Shaq. That's the only thing.
And I'm guessing it's Kareem and Wilt.
Yes, Kareem then Wilt, then Mr. Russell with his 11 championships.
Kareem, Shaq, Wilt.
I have Kareem, Wilt, Shaq, and I have this. Bill Russell is such a hard player to rank all time, especially with the centers, because centers are so interchangeable. You can slide them up and down the list all day, and it really doesn't look too bad. It's just like, yeah, he won 11 championships, but you have to remember for a majority of that, there are 8 teams in the NBA, and a lot of those teams weren't willing to play black players, whereas the Celtics were like, we'll play black players. So they had Casey
Now-
Jones, Sam
They're all
Jones,
racist there.
Bill Russell.
They had all the good players.
Well, yeah, because
I'm not gonna play any good players.
Yeah, like,
Really?
Okay, you're not gonna take all these guys because they're really good at basketball just because of the color of their skin. We'll take them and we'll win 11 championships with them.
Yes.
I mean, so that's like the competition was totally different. Yes, Bill Russell is still a very great player, especially for his era. Yes, his championships still do hold a lot of weight, his all-star appearances and stuff like that. It's just there are less players, less teams. That's why I can't really, like, even though Wilt was in the same era, it's just what Wilt was as an athlete blows my mind.
The most athletic man to ever live, I think.
I will agree.
I have Bill Russell at 4 though.
He's in the, I think Bill, no, I actually have Hakeem at 4 for me. And then I have Bill Russell at 5 or 6. I can't remember. I'll have to look at my list.
But Will is just the most freak athlete. He's a fucking athlete everywhere, dude. Like, he can fucking lift a fuck ton of weight. He can run fast as fuck. He has a lot of sex.
Oh, Wilt has a ton of sex. Do you know the curious case of George Marcus?
No.
Oh, so the story is, and it's like basically proven, when Wilt was 16, he played in the NBA under the alias of George Marcus.
Yeah.
And then
Is this
decided,
correct?
it's not like 100% confirmed because he's dead. And like he wouldn't
Yeah.
talk about when he was alive.
I've heard
but
it though.
basically, the pictures are like, yeah, that's Wilt Chamberlain. So.
He's a god. He's
pretty
a god.
fucking cool.
He's a
Yeah.
god.
Horny guy. Over 2,000 bodies, he says.
Hey, that's
Hey,
nothing but respect from me.
there's a bracket of the horniest
Yeah.
people that we have.
I couldn't decide who's the horniest man ever. Wilt,
Stephen A.
Tony Kamari, or
Stephen A. is
Stephen
up
A.
there.
Stephen
Phil Rivers, honorable mention. He's got 9 kids too.
9 kids, 1 woman, though, right?
I believe so.
Cromartie had
So
a baby.
I would count them out because that's just the same thing.
Kamari's got more babies than fucking hands and more baby moms than fucking hands.
Who's that football player that like?
Tony Kamari?
Oh, okay, so that is.
He had a baby after having a vasectomy.
Yeah,
His urge is that strong.
Dude,
Yes.
he's strong-willed-minded.
that's some good.
That's
genes.
determination.
That's
No.
some good genes.
All right, and the last thing I want to talk about is this new dance, or whatever you want to call it, is the wool thing. I want to end it at all times to all white people. It is atrocious to watch us perform this.
That's true.
So I would just want to say this. White people still can't dance. We will do this dance, and we will be the last white people to hopefully do this dance. I just want us to be the last people to do this.
Just get it out of our system.
Get it out. And everyone, if you are white, please stop doing this because you are making us look awful. It is just absolutely atrocious. All right, are we ready?
Are you gonna play some music?
No, we got to do what? We have to do
We're doing the whoa real quick.
Oh, we are. Oh, okay.
Yes.
So
I thought we were canceling this.
What camera?
No,
is
we're gonna do it. It's gonna cancel.
It's gonna.
we're
We're gonna
the
cancel
last
it for
white
white
people to do it.
Oh, fucking pioneer. Okay.
Yes. I'm sick and tired of watching.
Simultaneously
People
or
ruin it.
Simultaneous.
single?
Or should we just go across the camera?
No, we're gonna do it all at once.
Oh, okay. So just, I guess, turn to
All right.
camera.
3, 2, 1. It's done. Jared's just the worst.
Yeah, well, I'm white as hell, so.
We're done. White people, please stop doing this. It is awful.
That is very true.
And that ends my locker room talk.
And with locker room talk ending, that is all for us today on Highly Opinionated. Thanks for watching. Jake, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate
I love
it.
coming on anytime.
Make sure you check out his podcast, Skyline Sports. They talk a lot of baseball, college basketball. Make sure you check it out. Make sure if you're listening on YouTube to subscribe. If you're following me on Instagram, or if you're just watching this and not following me, fucking follow me. Why are you watching me and not following me? And if you're watching this on Facebook, hi, Mom. Also, if you can listen to us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, I will drop some links probably in the YouTube description and probably add it at the end to the Facebook Live thing. Thanks again for watching. See you guys later. Have a good, nice week, month, day, whatever you feel like having. Peace out.
Playoffs tomorrow, baby. Let's go. What the?
All right, and now I have to turn off the streams. End stream.
You